All right, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies if the energy is a little bit low for this one, but I am a bit sick today. So, with that out of the way, let's get into something crazy that has happened in Wuthering Waves 2.1. And that is, of course, our very first Whimpering Waves reset. So with that, let's dive right on into it. Let's see what we've got ready in store for us and what some of the challenges are going to be. And so on this account, we've unfortunately already completed the very first of all of the resetting stages. Boat number 7 is going to be the very first one that resets, and you're going to have to kind of sequentially go through all of these to get to 11, and then of course infinite torrents. And we're going to see everything that is in store for us, all of those new enemies, all of those new buffs, and talk about some team synergies, some compositions that are going to be able to make the most out of it. And so with that, I kind of wanted to see what any of the updates are going to be in terms of like the tokens and then maybe these infinite feats. Let's see what we got over here. It's pretty clear some new stuff has been unlocked. So let's get right on into it. These are not the same tokens that we had before. It turns out that Kuro might have actually listened a lot here and come up with some new stuff. So it looks like this token over here that increases spectral damage for each stack of frazzle, that's actually going to be the very first one that shows up in gold. And so no updates have been made to this. I was actually thinking that it was going to apply spectral frazzle on its own, and that would have been a better version of it. But it looks like this one's remained the same. It's geared towards Phoebe, but doesn't really work out well in this game mode, unfortunately. Next up, we're going to have the Blood Pact that corrupts to the core. Increases the next resonance liberation damage by 120% for 20 seconds after every 10 instances of damage dealt by resonators. This one looks like it's really geared towards those characters that are dealing resonance liberation damage in big bursts. Think of like your Zhang Liaos, maybe like your Yinlins. This is a really interesting one that I feel like might be a little bit overkill because 120% damage is a lot. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have preferred something like crit rate or critical damage. You know, that big 40% critical rate and 80% critical damage buff we saw before. It's not going to be available. And this one is obviously a little bit more so geared towards a specific type of unit. Next one, the Revelry that unveils mysteries. While resonators are in midair, their damage dealt is amplified by 30 seconds for 15 seconds when they are in midair. This looks like one of the most poorly translated tokens I've ever seen. This is just like, I assume you just get a damage amp of 30% while you're attacking in the air. I'm not sure why it's saying it twice. So that's something for us to, I guess, experiment and try out. Looks like this is going to be a Brant or Changli focused, or maybe potentially even Jinsei sort of focused token over here. So yeah, maybe work on the wording a little bit, Kuro Games. We've got the Echo support. This is something that you just collect in the overworld in the new Riccioli Islands. Not here for this account, but this is typically not even a strong one to choose anyways, so no problem there. This is the same exact token we had before that buffs basic attack damage. This is the same exact token that refunds your liberation every time you use a skill. And then we got the Plunderers, right? Which heals you and then deals damage in an area upon every 6th HP recovery. And then you got the general amplification damage of 25% for all attributes. I'm not gonna lie, this one just seems like a slightly weaker by 5%, right? Slightly weaker by 5%, but it seems like it just applies to everything regardless of where you are on the ground. And so I imagine that this is like a very, very specific version of this seal, but I would just maybe recommend using this one in most circumstances, but we'll have to experiment and try out with it. And of course, we're going to have our baseline tokens of just critical damage, basic attack damage, heavy attack, and of course, all of your general ones that you can use infinitely, but I do recommend using the blue ones instead. We've covered all of the new tokens, which there are 2 of, replacing the gold ones from before. Let's get into what the first stage is going to be looking like. Resonators in the team lose 1% of their HP every 2 seconds, so bit of an HP drain going on over time, kind of either want a healer or a shielder in here, and then resonance skill damage is amplified by 10%. Not really a huge bonus that we're seeing on the screen. I feel like the HP loss is more annoying, but just keep that in mind. So for this team, let's go ahead. Let's lean into the resonance liberation damage focus. This account here doesn't really have a shorekeeper, so we're going to have to experiment and play around. Let's just put in a team with Carlotta, Zhang Liao, and then a Havoc Rover. Kind of run some triple DPS and see what we can do. And just a general crit damage increase. This is going to be a bit of a rough account to clear with, but it seems like it'll be like a good example of, you know, maybe what you can do moving forward. Let's make the other side a little bit easier. Maybe have that side do more of the carrying, because of course, right? we're kind of working with some table scraps over here on this top team. The characters are looking okay. Ooh, unfortunate. We're missing some pieces over here. Maybe we just put in Yinlin on this team. We're not really gonna have a healer. We're not really gonna have a healer. We're gonna replace him with a sub DPS Yinlin. Luminous Hymn is what the equipment is going to be, so it could be a little bit better. And the crit damage is a little bit lacking, unfortunately. Yeah, the echoes aren't the best on this Yinlin, but we'll make do. We'll make do with what we can. 110 ER, 213. All right.
Hopefully, we'll make new findings.
Yeah. Okay, let's give it a stab.
Complete overhaul.
My compliment.
Tear them to pieces.
Variable elimination. Watch out.
All right.
Improvise. Just stay present. Don't blink.
I've had enough.
We're getting some decent damage out over here.
Variable elimination. Pierce.
Getting that big Zhangli out boom. Nice damage on that one. Just gonna use the whole duration of this because, of course, you know, we've got our
Risk level increasing.
we got our Yinlin Ultra buff ready to go.
Complete
My
overhaul.
compliment.
And get the Carlotta liberation out now.
In the name of the
Boom.
Montes.
Nice.
Tear them to pieces.
You can see that HP drain without the healer is doing a bit of a significant number on some of my resonators. My Zhangli, for example, is actually almost dead. So something to keep in mind, right? There's some actual danger here if you're not going to be slotting in a healer. I'm just hoping that HP drain effect isn't going to be spammed throughout, because there might be some issues for me in the later stages if that HP drain is going to be available for everything.
Bask in the sunlight.
All right, we've got our whole situation going on over here.
The fruit of ever.
Stay behind me.
Just getting those Ultra buffs ready to go. And now we're going to Liberation, nuke this entire thing to the next wave, and then we're just going to have a bit of an easier time with Camellia. Don't even have Rosia on this team.
Vitality sour.
And Camellia's going to make this way easier than the other side because we don't have to dedicate, you know, anything to her. Okay, why is bro actually unkillable?
Stay behind me. Like
Yeah, those
Bridget
cuddle wuddles are a bit of an issue, I'm not gonna lie. They appear to just actually activate Giga God mode.
Fruit of ever.
Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashen shell. It's getting fun.
Yeah, and that'll just be that stage. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those cuddle wuddles. It would be terrible if they ended up like tanking a liberation or two, or one of your really highly damaging abilities. Just make sure, right, that you're watching out for that one. We've got our next stage. For every 6 times the resonators in the team deal basic attack damage, a fire blast is cast, dealing 600% fusion damage to nearby enemies. And so I think that I'll just end up using the same exact sort of team here. Maybe we'll just go ahead, we'll try out a Plunderer Seal and just stick with the basic attack one to keep that buffing going for our Camellia. And then we'll unlock the rest of these gold. You can see them over here. We'll unlock all of the gold artifacts or the gold tokens once this stage is complete. But as you all saw, we might not really be using them.
Variable elimination.
Tear them to pieces.
Just stacking together all those outro skills because, of course, right? Outro skills deal damage.
Variable elimination. Conditions up.
Plunderers is working out pretty well for us here. Maybe we'll just use that because, of course, you know,
Found your weak spot.
healing is always good when you don't have a healer on your team.
Time to rest.
Unfortunately, these chop chops kind of are an absolute menace right now.
Quickly and swiftly. Victory
And they
favors
ungrouped.
me.
Nasty.
Can you keep
All right, lined up all the enemies perfectly.
found your weak spot?
And of course, do keep in mind, you will always have those nice little buffs ready. Something like a Resonance Liberation getting reset with all of its resources. And this stage was a lot easier. I think that this stage was significantly easier than the prior one. Didn't have any HP thing to worry about. And that damage buff from basic attacking, absolutely huge. I think that almost any character that's a DPS that's built could just spam their basics and clear that. And we're going to see a similar thing over here for this stage, I believe.
Like frigid death.
Yeah, I mean, we want at least the early stages, right? It's looking pretty simple right now.
Don't run.
Looking pretty simple, pretty easy to do right now. So let's see. The grouping here does seem to be a little bit more annoying. It might just be me, but it does kind of feel like these enemies are a lot more spread apart. We are, however, getting that basic attack damage, you know, that boost. It is going a little bit crazy. It's going pretty crazy.
Stay behind me. Frozen blockade.
Luminous energy.
Let's just get those team rotations off.
Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashen shell. Feed
And
my blossoms.
give it a big boom.
Deceivers.
Now our crit rate is 100%. Maybe this was why they removed that crit rate buffing token, because they actually wanted this one to feel like it was slightly useful. Because most people's critical rates were already at 100% after using that 40% artifact. That one turned out pretty simple as well. Let's go to floor 9. And we've got those tokens that I was just talking about, the premium ones that I don't particularly think are that good. When performing a mid-air attack, the Resonator deals 600% fusion damage to nearby enemies. This one is really clearly oriented towards Brant, or maybe even a Chang Li. Unfortunately, we have neither of those characters on the account, and so probably the best person that we're going to be getting to activate this buff is Camellia. Because of course, right, Camellia is going to be doing mid-air attacks while she is in her suspended state. Looks like there's a Glacial Resistance over here and Electro Resistance over here. I think we're just going to end up using Plunderers again, and let's use an all attribute damage amp for this one. We'll see if we can get that 3500 clear. Yes, this account does not have the units that this WhiWa's dedicated towards. So, I mean, if that's the case, then, you know, it is what it is, right?
Complete overhaul.
Tear them to pieces. You're not getting away.
Variable elimination.
Found your weak spot.
Conditions up.
Be gone. Back off.
Alrighty.
To wrap it up.
Good thing all characters can jump. True.
Complete overhaul. All shall
This account does have the very good Nightmare Echoes. Oh man, that grouping is a little bit disastrous. Not gonna lie.
Faster. Reconfiguration. Exploit. Prime.
My compliments. The stage is set. Impressive. Victory
All right.
favors me. Still recognize me.
Oh, that was a misplay right there. That was a misplay right there. It looks like that Glacial Resistance is a little bit too strong.
Still recognize me.
Tear them to pieces.
I wonder if that counted as a mid-air attack. Oh, and we're seeing here the Cuddle Waddle is in fact activating its invulnerability again. Little bit annoying. Gonna be entirely real here.
Be gone.
Variable elimination. Complete overhaul. Pierce through the stars.
Okay, that Zhang Liao laser just completely missed.
Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration. Exploit. Prime. Very confined within limits. Reconfiguration.
All right, we clear it just in time. We're starting to see the effects of having, you know, type-resistant characters like Carlotta being Glacial and that having a Glacial resistance. We kind of griefed ourselves a good bit there. So this second side should be good enough to carry us through, though. Especially if Camellia actually works with that mid-air buff. So let's see how it turns out.
Fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me. I've changed your
Proud
perception.
of buddies. Struggle harder.
Let's see how it turns out.
Entertain me.
I'm not even sure if it's activating.
Let's have fun.
It might be activating. No, it's not. I do see some fire coming out, so yeah, no, it is. No, that mid-air attack is working.
Stay behind me. Like frigid death.
Luminous
I think you guys, if you're saying it's not happening, why do you think there's fusion damage coming out? Like when I don't have a fusion character on the team. It's literally, we're seeing orange damage ticks. And that literally cannot happen with the characters on the team. So yeah, guys, it's working. Yeah, no other way to get orange damage ticks other than to deal fusion damage, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Camellia is synergizing with those mid-air buffs, and I'm literally watching meteors rain down on them.
Pervade.
Life is in everything. The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
Yep, and it looks like Verina's able to, because Verina uses air attacks, right, for her Forte circuit. Because Verina does use air attacks for her Forte circuit. That is going to work as well. And that'll be the clear. So Camellia is still the #1 queen of Whimpering Wastes. It is extremely easy to clear with her. And I highly recommend using her. After casting an Echo skill, crit damage is increased by 40% for 15 seconds. That sounds like a pretty good one. Let's try out this Blood Pact that corrupts the core for the Zhang Liao team. And I guess for this Camellia team, because she does count as in the air, I guess we try out this one. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it works.
Still recognizing.
Elimination.
Tear them to pieces. My field of
Variable elimination. Conditions up.
Be gone. Zap strength.
And boom. Decent amount of damage coming out from that Yinlin over there.
Variable elimination. Complete overhaul.
All right, this is some of the worst grouping I might have ever seen, but that is a big bit of damage that we're seeing over there. Yeah, this is a bit of a grouping disaster over here. Don't show your mother this.
My compliments. Take this. Brilliance lights the way. The world is mine. Surrender. Running won't save you. Quickly and
All right, timed that out pretty well.
still
Variable
recognizing.
elimination.
Zap strength. The stage is yours. Leave it. Time to wrap it up.
Looking pretty decent over here with this one.
My field of expertise.
Variable elimination. Complete overhaul.
Okay, please don't be invulnerable.
Reconfiguration. Exploit. Prime. Reconfiguration.
Oh, this is not looking too good. This is unfortunately not looking... We may have wasted too much time on the grouping over there.
Now you behave.
Hopefully, the Camellia score will be enough to sort of, like, carry us through. Yeah, because this is not good.
Get low.
This was not good. This was not a good clear. We'll just have to see how the other side does and where our point totals are at. Because I'm not going to lie, that was not a good one. Let's just see what the Camellia team can do.
Life is in everything.
Yeah, maybe next time I don't do this on such a bad account. Just kidding. Yeah, it's more so just the lack of having, like, the healer. So that we can dedicate more of the buffs. That's a bit of the issue here. And so, yeah, having only one of the healers and the Bias is not really leveled up can cause some issues when you're doing more of these, like, hyper carry oriented teams.
Let's have fun.
I gotta make sure to use the Echo skill to gain that extra crit damage as well.
Let's have fun.
Stay behind. Like frigid death.
Okay, those guys are actually scary.
Grow for me. Fruit of evolution.
Those guys are actually scary.
Stay behind.
Sprout of buttons. Feed my blossoms. Self-deceivers. Let's have fun.
Weave in that Echo skill with Camellia to try and do some more damage. What I will say is that WhiWa, especially when compared to something like the TOA, it does tend to take quite a bit longer. That's definitely something that I feel like we didn't really notice at first. It does take kind of a long time to do.
Hands up, my friend. Bask in the sunlight. Fruit of evolution.
Stay behind.
Bloom from ashes. Struggle.
But it does look like we are
Entertain me. Let's have fun.
getting ready to clear. Hopefully, as long as this Cuddle Wuddle doesn't destroy my plans.
Grafting. Suffer.
Yeah, we're in a good spot for the clear. Doing a ton of damage. We got an A on that one. We got one floor left. We would only need 2100 to get all of the points that we're seeing over here for the respawning waters chasm. And believe me when I say I don't think 2100 is going to be very hard at all with Camellia on at least one of the sides. Yeah, I think we can just move forward with that one. There's not a lot of investment on any of the characters. And so we're really making do with kind of like the bare minimum here. Maybe we just run the Verena team over here. I guess we just put Rover on +0 equipment. I don't even know what's going... Like, I don't even know. Why is he even level 90? There's nothing you can even use on him.
Complete overhaul.
Bloom. The fruit of evolution.
Variable elimination. Conditions optimal.
Sure. My field of
Variable
expertise.
elimination. Disruption.
The fruit of
Variable
evolution.
elimination.
Zap string. It's our curtain call. Don't blink. Be gone.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself. Reconfiguration. Export. Prime.
Okay, the Zhang Liao team it's doing okay.
Reconfiguration. Disruption.
Tear them to pieces. Time to wrap it up.
Luminous energy. The fruit of
Tear
evolution.
them to pieces. Zap string, our turn. My field of expertise.
Variable elimination. Pierce through the stars. Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration.
Tear them to pieces.
Bask in the sunlight.
Tear them to pieces. I've had enough.
This WhiWa is annoying. Well,
Variable elimination.
I've got my opinions on why this WhiWa is annoying.
Confined within a minute. Reconfiguration.
All right, well, we got the 4 out of 5 here using kind of like a scuff team. We'll see. We'll see how the other side does. We'll see how the other side does with our rover.
The end has come.
And great, like frigid death.
Hopefully this helps.
Stay behind me.
Reborn from ancient. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Huh? Let's have fun. Vitality, sour. Keep trying.
Ooh, those parrying assholes are rough as hell. Oh dear, the grouping here is almost non-existent.
Stay behind me. Shackles be gone.
The hour is upon us. Hopefully this helps.
Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashes. Struggle harder. Entertain me. Let's have fun.
Looks like we are getting some bursts of like electro damage, which are nice. Oh dear. Yeah, we had some. We're getting some leftovers on every wave. A little bit annoying.
Swift and resolute. Hopefully this helps.
Frozen blockade.
A moment of resonance. No hesitation.
Stay behind me.
Sprout of budding seeds. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers. Grafting, suffer.
All right.
Let's have fun.
Yeah, I think we just go for it. We didn't clear, but when we have a, you know, a Spectral Rover on full 1-1-1, hey, what are you gonna do? But with that, we have enough points. We have enough points for the full rewards. Last thing is, whenever you cast an Echo skill, you deal 1000% electro damage to nearby enemies. So I probably should have been spamming that Nightmare Crownless on the Camellia a lot more and probably spamming more of these Echo skills a lot more. This is actually quite a big bonus. I would say Nightmare Crownless is 1000% the best Echo for this part of the game mode, because you have 3 charges of it. It can be cast up to 3 times, so that's going to be a huge one. We scored full points, not really on the last 2 stages for reasons. Now it's time for us to get into Infinite Torrents. And the goal over here, guys, is to just get 4,500. No more, no less. Looks like we got some Glacio, Havoc, and Electro with 1 Electro on the Vitrium Dancers. And the rest of it, it just looks like it's a fucking rainbow. This looks like it has pretty much every single element in the game. I'm just like trying to look here. What element is not currently represented? I think it's pretty much all of them, with the Chop Chops being the big ones, and then the Chasm Guardians and the Rock Steadies. Maybe the Electro team is actually better on this side, and so we'll try out something like this. Honestly, why not just something like the Reveler's Captain Seal? And then on this side, we'll be using our traditional Camellia lineup. I think we'll just go for the Plunderers for this one. Crit damage taken by enemies is increased by 50%. Okay, so we want to focus on doing a lot of crits. All our characters are built for it, so I think we'll be good.
Growth, fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashen shell. Grafting, suffer. Huh? Let's have fun.
And remember, one side can do exceedingly well enough to basically carry us. And I do think that is what is going to happen here.
Shackles be gone.
I do believe that this team over here with our, you know, our amazing Verena,
The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
I think it's going to do some carrying.
Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers.
Huge break.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
And it looks like this is the same exact floor design as we had in some of the prior
Let's
ones.
have fun.
Stay behind me.
Does look like the
Pervade.
same exact floor design.
Notice the bask in the sunlight.
I'm not noticing any different mobs comparatively to before.
Stay behind me.
Reborn from each struggle harder. Entertain me.
That could either be a good or a bad thing, right? If you wanted to see different mobs, probably a bad thing. But if you've been like practicing with the other ones, right? And you've gotten used to sort of the flow of the mobs, then having them repeat is probably not a bad thing for you.
Stay behind me. Like
Unfortunately, we
frigid
did run into a bit of a grouping issue here.
Luminous energy. The fruit of evolution.
death. Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashen shell. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Let's have fun. Grafting, suffer.
And honestly, we might be in some trouble here. Yeah, we might be in some trouble here. I think we're going to have to reset. That is definitely not enough points. That is not enough points with the Camellia team. Yeah, I think Plunderers is not really cutting it there for us. And so let's try out this Reveler's Captain Seal on both sides again and give this a go. Yeah, it's a little bit rough.
The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
Reborn from ancient roots. Let's have fun.
Stay behind me. Shackles be gone.
Listen up. The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
Sprout of budding seeds. Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers. Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
Oh, that is so annoying.
Crimson blossom.
Yeah, as you can see, the damage on these stages is not nearly as high as it used to be. And not having that whole critical rate and critical damage buffing token does make this a bit of a struggle. Not gonna lie.
Stay behind me. Like frigid death.
Bask in the sunlight.
Yeah, I feel like the lack of it is it's gonna really hamper some builds,
Bloom from ashes. Don't
hamper some of the
run.
progress of a couple of
Keep
players.
dance going.
Yeah, I'm not sure if removing that token was the way to go. I'm not gonna lie. Not sure how I feel about that one.
Grafting, suffer.
Like, there are certain waves that I'm just like not one-shotting anymore. Ooh.
Let's have fun.
Stay behind me. Lotus pervade.
Luminous energy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real here. I feel like this is gonna, yeah, this could be, like, depending on your roster,
Stay behind me.
this could be a bit of a challenge.
Struggle harder. Entertain me. Crimson blossom. Let's have fun.
Yeah, we're not really getting the points that we need. Maybe the other side is gonna do better. We're not even reaching like 2K points with this one.
Complete overhaul.
No mercy. Back off.
Variable elimination. Very. Confined within limits. Exploit. Prime. Hey, stop! Reconfiguration. Exploit. Profit.
My compliment. Still recognize. Glory demands more.
Okay.
In the name of the Montellis. Can you still recognize me? Surrender.
Tear them to pieces.
Conditions up.
My field, zap strength. It's our curtain call.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself. Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration. Disruption.
My compliment. Still descent. Still recognize me. Huh. The world is mine.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get more than 2K here either. Man, this is
Masterpiece complete.
yeah, I'm gonna be real. This account is kind of obviously right. There's not a lot of investment overall on the account, and that's gonna cause some issues. You saw like 4 level 90 characters, and yeah, it does look like it's gonna be significantly harder for you
Variable elimination.
if you're like one of those. If you're one of those
The
players.
stars. Exploit. Profit. Watch out. Reconfiguration.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get the full points on this one.
Reconfiguration. Reconfiguration. Conditions up.
My compliment.
Yeah, that is not looking that good. 3410 points. That's not the 4500 we need. That's actually not even enough to get one of the baseline rewards. We definitely did not use the new gold tokens. It does kind of seem like that one was a bit rough. Let's see what the Camellia is going into it. 68 to 88. She's not even like badly built. She's gotten maxed out everything except her intro skill. Maybe we're supposed to use like this one, or maybe we even use like this one. Yeah, I'm not particularly sure. Maybe we'll give it another stab. Like I said before, guys, there's not a lot of fully built characters. The Phoebe's absolutely unusable. Yinlin is using Phoebe Sig. Let me see what we got for the Zhang Liao over here.
Experiment begins.
We do have Verity's Handle, but a very, very low critical damage. So, yeah, the Zhang Liao's looking like half built as well. We all know what that old one was before. 40% crit rate and 80% critical damage, and it has been replaced with like a resonance liberation buff. Like, I guess maybe that'll be the one that actually carries this side, and then we'll try it again with this gold one over here. Maybe that'll be the difference maker here.
The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashen shell. And twine. Let's have fun.
Stay behind me. Lotus pervade.
The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me. A change of
Reborn
perception.
from ancient roots. Let's have fun. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Let's have fun. Chaos. Rafting. Supper.
Maybe it's doing a lot better with the new token. Because Camellia is, you know, she does stay in the air and stuff, so.
Stay behind me. Shackles be gone.
Notice this luminous energy. The fruit of evolution.
Stay behind me.
Is this the hardest endgame in Gacha Gaming? I don't think so, but it's definitely harder than last time. So I think people are going to be a little bit upset with this.
Let's have fun.
I do believe there are going to be some people that are a little bit upset with this.
Crimson blossom. Let's have fun.
Stay behind me. Like frigid death.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel like I am playing this absurdly badly.
Born from ancient being
I don't feel like I am
light
playing this absurdly badly.
blossom.
but it does not seem like this is going to keep up with the full with what's needed for a full score. And of course, that was like a bit of a grouping disaster over there, but surely it can't be this bad.
Vitality sour.
Like, we're basically going in and we're dealing like what feels like half the... Like, I used to be just one-shotting these with an ephemeral.
Stay behind. Frozen block.
I used to be one-shotting these with an ephemeral, but now we're not even close. Honestly, the score is worse than last time using the gold one. The score is like actually worse than last time when we were using the purple token. This is actually a bit of an issue. I guess we can see how this side does. But I will say right now, if your account doesn't have like a, I guess like maybe a roster with like a Chang Li or some other units on it, you might just, the clearing experience for you might be a little bit sad. Not having a shorekeeper either. Yeah, the clearing experience for you might be really sad. So, be on the lookout for that one, guys.
Reconfiguration. Exploit. Reconfiguration.
My compliment. Still recognize. Glory demands more. Thank you. A new era awaits. Still recognize me. Take this.
Tear them to pieces. Back off.
Don't blink.
You're not getting away. Time to wrap it up.
Yeah, so it's like the same enemies, but boy, oh boy, it definitely got harder.
Zap string, our turn.
Okay, why can I not use my intro skill? Oh, dear.
Pierce through the stars. Exploit. Reconfiguration. Risk level increases. Exploit. Reconfiguration. Reconfigure damage.
Yeah, I am not gonna lie, guys. This is something else. Yeah, it's basically just the same exact thing as last time, but it just feels like actually genuinely significantly harder.
The world is mine. Time to part ways. In the name of the Montellis. Still
Tear
recognize
them to
me.
pieces. Zap string, it's our curtain call.
Variable elimination. Faster.
I think this is cooked. Yeah, we're using one of the shittiest accounts. Let's be real here. Like, this account is not really that good. And without, like, those tokens to really help out in terms of, like, balancing your crit and stuff like that, I don't think you're gonna have a good time. I think you're actually gonna have a really, really, really rough time. That's like a couple of experimental clears. This is like my first stab at it. I'm pretty sure with like some more optimized, turbo optimized hyper gaming, we might be able to get better scores, you know, like leveling up other characters on the account, like the Yang Yang or the Spectral Rover and stuff like that. But there might be a lot of people, right, with an account that looks like this, not very good. And if you're one of those people, that old token, right, that used to be gold, that was increasing your critical rate by 40% and your critical damage by 80%, that's just not there anymore. And it kind of got replaced with, like, dog shit. These just seem like bad. These just seem like not as good. And I'm gonna be real here. Maybe it's like the purple ones are the key. There's some more experimentation you're gonna have to do to get some good results here. I mean, we were able to clear this one perfectly fine. Had a couple of hiccups here and there. But this new Infinite Torrents, boy, oh boy. I'm not really sure what Kuro was doing by taking away the tokens and replacing them with something that's just honestly dog shit like this. This is just bad. At its best, it's 5% more damage than this, but it has a condition added on top of it. It's like, oh, it's like kind of just not good. And then this one is like, you get liberation damage buff, but then it loses its effect after you use it, and you have to build it up by doing 10 more instances of damage. I'm not even sure who this one is made for. It doesn't really even seem that good. I kind of wish we had that token back. Unfortunately, a lot of like your Whimpering Wastes runs would just be you spamming that 40% crit rate and 80% critical damage token. But now it's like they kind of just replaced it with stuff that's not very good. You might see me revisit this account in the future. I think that those demo clears that we did and kind of like the difficulty, even with the Camellia team, speaks enough. Because boy, oh boy, you might have to do some crazy stuff with your account building, invest in some other characters, maybe pull out the Yang Yang or something to have more of a chance here. Because holy moly, this is a little bit rough. Gonna be entirely honest. And I think we used a pretty good sample account of like a lower tier player, right, who hasn't been investing as much to demonstrate that. I do think there's a problem here. I think it's a pretty big one. I would love to see that token that I'm talking about returned, or maybe even like the difficulty and the HP starting to scale down a bit in Infinite Torrents. Because if I'm using Camellia's Ephemeral and I'm not one-shotting elites with a relatively full build on her, I do think that's a bit of an issue, and that is going to cause a lot of problems. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace.